also, very much transformation has taken place for the last 2 years. In 2000, railway was running with old ICF coaches, then it changed to LHB coaches. For changing of the old stock of ICF coaches to LHB coaches, many new manufacturing units were launched. And this created huge demand in the market. For the past few years, Railways has produced so many LHB coaches that the replacement of the old ICF coaches with LHB coaches is now nearing completion. So what does this mean? Has the clock for transformation stopped? The answer is no, because now we are seeing the coming of new kind of railway, that is Vande Bharat. Nowadays, if you go to any station, the coach you will see, the common side will be of LHB coaches. But in near future, the common side will become Vande Bharat trains. So that means that industry capacity to produce Vande Bharat trains is of immense need. Indian Railways is in that mix of the capacity to produce Vande Bharat trains. And in the field of electrification also. Again, if you go back 2-3 decades back, you will see, you will recall that most of the routes were not electrified. So there was a speed division of trains. As a result, trains were taking more time. But in due course of time, all of these routes have almost been electrified. So the electrification process of these routes is complete. But with coming of Vande Bharat, again the capacity of already electrified routes has to be enhanced. So all this is going to create more demands. And the third pillar is digital railways. The third pillar is the pillar of online applications. Railways has done commendable job over the last 2 years in digital field. Most of its activities are now being done through online digital processes. In fact, even for internal activities of railways, physical files or physical files are not required. Though at many places physical files are being used, but as far as capacity is concerned, we can go ahead with any physical form of files. For external users also, lot of digital apps are there. And for the most common is of course online ticket booking. But here at this place, we are more interested in apps which are helpful to our vendors. So there are 2 apps that I will discuss later in my presentation. But here I will give a brief detail of those. The one is Indian Railway e-procurement system, and the other is the reform vendor approval module. And both these apps are related with each other. So I will discuss these apps later. But for maintaining these kinds of digital applications, again, software expertise, hardware expertise, all these are required. So railway is definitely, railway needs more partners to maintain, to grow, to modernize its existing working, its existing fleet, its existing network. And of course, there is power signaling, which has come, which is a recent development, and it is a 24/3 system, and it uses lots of electronics and AI-based applications. So there is huge scope for those vendors who are who have this, whose strength is this AI is their strength. Yeah, then in the sector of renewable energy also railway has been commendable. So let us discuss a few of them. First is efficient redevelopment. The first thing that is visible to any person who visits a city is railway station. So a railway station has to give a good impression to the visitor for to make the city attractive. with this idea, a lot of the government of stations was built. And the idea was to make these transit hubs act as city growth anchors. But this is also creating huge opportunity for our vendors. From the field of infrastructure, passenger amenities like escalators, elevators, or electrical and energy systems, heating, ventilation and AC, fire and safety, and information to the passenger. All these things are required, and there is huge opportunity. For a wide company, the metros are there in our big cities, but it is further expanding. Metro projects are coming at many new places. Is there. Then high-speed rail. Now Mumbai and Ahmedabad route is almost complete, and very soon it will become functional. But apart from them, several new routes have been approved, and which are Mumbai, Pune, Hyderabad, Bangalore, Hyderabad, Chennai, Delhi, Siliguri, and Varanasi, Siliguri. So these routes, again, they see there is commercial railway, there is demand in commercial railway, but then there is advanced railways like high-speed metros, regional rapid transit system. So they give a new dimension to the demand. We need same items, but more advanced in nature. So this also gives more opportunity to new vendors. The technology is slightly different for these railways. For example, the track is ballastless, unlike the commercial tracks. Lot of equipment, depot automation is there. Platform screen doors, traction systems, AI-based passenger management, everything is there in these newer railways. There is regional rapid transit system. Again, the vision was to develop not a city, but a whole area, because a city, if a city is developed and its surrounding areas remain backward, then at some point the further growth of the city will stop. So the idea was to make a cluster of adjoining cities and make them act like a single unit. So a person can work in Delhi but can reside in or can reside in Panipat or can reside in Alwar. So there will not be any issue of workforce. Similar, many things will be helpful if we go for the growth of a cluster of cities instead of going for an individual city. With this idea, regional rapid transit system was developed. But again, this is creating a different dimension of requirement for Indian Railways. So far we have talked about the growth in passenger rail segment, but also in the field of freight corridors, there has been a lot of improvement, and you see that for building is a dedicated freight corridor, lot of earthwork, bridges, rail welding, sleepers, but there is Gati Shakti cargo terminals to complement dedicated freight corridors. Then there is multimodal logistic paths where rail can flow of cargo through rail can be seamlessly connected with the road-based transport. So everything is there. One can track the cargo or the wedding by using RFID. There is an app which is called as FOIS. So it is there for tracking of the cargo and for tracking of the vehicles. So everything is there, everything is digitalized, and everything is creating another dimension of requirement. Similarly, as I said, for the last 20 decades, for the last 2 decades, modernization in field has happened. from ICF coaches, we have transformed to LHD coaches, and now we are going for Vande Bharat train. So again, this is creating many new demands in another dimension. Again, a lot of work has been done in electrification. All the routes have been electrified, but coming of more on the Bharat trains, higher capacity of electrified routes will be needed. So again, the work of electrification will continue and will keep creating more and more demand. And again, in the sector of IT, as I said, that almost all the activities of Indian Railways fully digitalized. And in the field of AI also, Railways has taken lots of initiatives, though a lot more is required to be done in the field of AI. But I think that for future, right now, there may be many companies who are looking for an opening in the AI field in Indian Railways. Right now, they may not be getting that much response, but in future, very soon they are going to get big response from Indian Railways. Because nobody can deny the requirement of use of AI learning. And again, in the field of renewable energy, Railways has done lots of work. People think about railway as electricity consumer only, but railway also produces lot of renewable energy. Many big solar plants are there in railways. For example, there is a unit called as Model Push Battery, and primarily which harbors 4 megawatt solar plant. In ICF in Rangoon, it harbors 10 megawatt windmill plant. So, in the field of renewable energy, also railways is doing a lot of work, and this is again creating opportunity for women. Thus, railway in itself is a whole world, and the opportunity it offers is throughout the spectrum of technology, from civil engineering to mechanical engineering to electrical electronics and to AI. It offers opportunity to every vendor. So the time to invest in railway is now. So before becoming part of the Indian railway ecosystem, few things are needed to be understood. Firstly, what is the tendering and contracting process of Indian Railways? There is a requirement of railways procurement system. There is a vendor approval, and there is an online application for doing this inform vendor approval. Tendering system of Indian Railways is fully visualized. There are two platforms which railway uses. One is property marketplace, and the other platform is IRPS or Indian Railway e-procurement system. Anyone can get information about tenders of Indian Railways just by using the OTP-based mobile login, and they can see the tenders, what tenders railways will do. But to participate in tenders, one has to get themselves registered in IRPS system, and for registration they need a class 3 digital solution. So this is the scale of the ecosystem of Indian Railway e-procurement system. So there are 2.25 lakh registered vendors. Organization uses something like 64,000 users, and this is huge number. The next slide. Indian Railways divides its item into 4 categories. The first one is safety item, then vital item, critical item, and non-critical item. So there is a barrier for vendors who want to participate in tenders of safety and vital items. But this barrier is for safety of our passengers, our customers. So there is a portion of approved list. Our approved list is divided into two parts. One part is approved vendors, and the other is governmental vendors. Approved vendors can get a bulk order. developmental vendor, if a firm is developmental vendor for an item, and if they are in a tender, they are bidding at lower than the price of approved vendor, they can be considered for a quantity up to 20% of the net procurable quantity. And this above list is item 1. So there are 5 under government agencies. RDSO is of course the most important and one of them. And then there is Bharat division of the coach factory and their coach factory, and as the name themselves says, the development is for locomotive and ICF and RCF are for coach parts, whereas most of the items are done by RDSO. So there is one platform, uniform under approval module. One can go to uniform under approval module by logging into IRPS. If one clicks the login button of IRPS, a box that opens and there is linked to UM, that is uniform under approval. So the first step should be to access the information and to get aware of the items for which the vendor can be interested. So this can be done. I think if you visit the IRPS website, you will find all these steps. You do not need to reiterate it here. Okay, so there is, if you click on IRPS, you will find these kinds of information. So all these informations are there. So every information is available online. If you go to RDSO website, you will find the vendor registration guideline, which shows what are the rules for a registered vendor. Okay. And after gathering the information, you have found out that for this item you want to get yourself enrolled. Then one can go through this uniform under approval module. And there are 7 stages. The first is stage application, then document verification, chemistry of capability, assessment, and then developmental of right? Okay. So all this information is available on the website. Okay. So thank you. I think